Alright, what's up guys? I'm sitting in this semi that my dad and I got a while ago as kind of a little project truck. So the most special thing about this semi is probably like the price, what we got it for. We got this thing for $3,000, driven to our doorstep. It is running and driving, which is pretty incredible for, you know, $3,000 semi. So this is a Freightliner semi, as you can probably tell by the numerous little engravings everywhere. And I'm not sure exactly what year it is. I believe it's late 90s, I mean not late 90s, late 80s to early 90s. So it's a straight six engine built by Caterpillar. They build, you know, a lot of diesel engines for tractors and trucks. I'm not sure on the displacement. I really don't know much about semis, but it does make 375 horse, so that's like the factory rated horsepower output. I'm not sure on the torque, but it's probably, you know, roughly 2.5 times, 3 times as much as the horsepower. And this thing has a fat turbo on it, like a biggest turbo I've ever seen in person, probably. And you know, the boost gauge goes all the way up to 50 psi, so you know, even if it goes up like spools half that, it's still running, you know, close to 30 psi, which is pretty crazy. I mean, not that crazy for a diesel, but still a lot of boost. So the interior isn't exactly immaculate, but you know, for $3,000 you can't really complain, and it's really not all that bad. Just have the stereo deck missing, then some speaker wires hanging out from here, and there used to be a speaker there, and my cat crawling up from the hood. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you silly critter. So the interior really isn't all that bad. You know, it's nothing to write home about really, but you know, the seats, you know, there's no tears or anything. This seat is kind of not exactly on there very well. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But you know, the seats are actually really in pretty nice shape considering. So this is a million-mile semi. A million miles sounds like quite a bit, but in the semi world, it's really not all that much. So this odometer only goes up 6 figures. Once it hits a million, it, you know, restarts. So it has roughly 1,033,000 miles on it, which by semi standards really isn't all that much. There's a lot of semis that, you know, have upwards of 2 to 3 million miles. So after it hit the million-mile mark, supposedly it had a full engine and tranny rebuild, but we don't really have the papers on that because it sat for quite a few years afterwards. So there's no real way to verify that, but it did drive here, and it starts up actually really nice. And the, you know, the tranny doesn't seem it's not exactly the notchiest transmission, but all the gears seem to work. So, all right, so we have the sleeping quarters back here. The speakers back here seem to have also been pulled out. And then here's a little box for or a TV or whatever, and a little closet type deal here. So obviously it's not the cleanest back here, but it's really not all in that rough shape. And this mattress is also supposedly somewhat new. I mean, it still has the plastic covering on it, then you just have a bunch of owner's manuals and logbooks and whatever else. So I might as well start this thing up. It hasn't been started up in, I don't know, a few weeks, probably even a month. But it starts up quite nice, really. So you have the ignition over here. You have that really annoying little buzzing noise. Alright, so after letting the glow plugs warm up, and after ignoring the buzzy noise, you hit this engine start button. And she's alive. There we go. It's a bit of a rough start, but she started up. So she does have pretty good oil pressure on startup. It does take a long time for these big diesel motors to get up to operating temperature, but I'm not sure if the fuel gauge works. It says we're at like 0 fuel pressure, which I don't think is true. So that might not work. There's a lot of dials on this thing. I'm no truck expert, but it feels like I'm sitting in an airplane. You know, kind of a cool thing about these trucks is they have these little like air hoses, so you can just, you know, blow whatever else, or, you know, blow whatever you need to be blown out, you know, cleaning your pants off if you've been rolling on the ground, putting on chains in the snow or something. You know, it's kind of cool. A lot of stuff in this truck is pneumatically powered, which I think is really cool. So another really freaky thing, or I think it's kind of strange, the passenger side window is pneumatically controlled. Like, it's literally, the switch is also on the driver's side, but it's like, it's powered by, you know, pressurized air. I've never seen a pneumatically powered window before. Then also this, put the tranny in like high and low, it also seems to be pneumatically powered. So you can hear a little air noise, which is pretty neat. And then obviously all your brakes are pneumatically powered. So another thing I just noticed, it seems like the tach isn't working properly now. I think it was before, so maybe it's just kind of bugging out now, but if I rev it up a bit, it'll read how much it went up, but it won't return back to like the idle speed. So it seems to be stuck at however high you manage to get it up to. So this thing does have air suspension, you know, like most semis. It has some bags in the back. I think they're only in the back, but you can lower the suspension. It's quite slow, but you can lower it by a few inches, then auto, you know, it'll raise up a few inches. Alright, to prove to you guys that this is a driving, you know, working $3,000 semi, I'm going to take on a little cruise through the pasture. Alright, so we got her in first gear. This thing has more than enough torque to drive around without getting on the gas. You're just going to use the idle speed. And she cruises. And this thing is capable of still, you know, driving highway speeds. It did drive here. It works fine as a little pasture putting truck. So the truck, you know, drives fine. You can get through all the gears, but I can't really leave first with it being so bumpy out here. Alright, so another thing I forgot to mention is the brakes seem to work quite well. Alright, I almost forgot to show the best thing about the truck. So there are a few things wrong with this truck, you know, as you'd expect for and, you know, $3,000 semi, and the fact that it's, you know, over 1 million miles on it. But you know, the paint is not what it used to be. It is, you know, cracking and flaking, which isn't really a huge deal. But then also, the majority of the tires have really bad sidewall cracking, which I don't think the DOT likes it too much if you drive this, you know, big of a vehicle on sidewall cracked tires. So those definitely all need to be replaced, and they are not very cheap, you know, for semi-tire. Then you also got this, you know, it's pretty big sized crack in the windshield, which I'm pretty sure the DOT isn't very fond of you having cracks in your windshield, but I'm not entirely sure if this is like beyond what they'll allow or not, but you know, that probably should be replaced also. You know, and then you got the muffler, which is way beyond repair, definitely needs to be replaced, because I don't think it's doing much muffling anymore. So, and I'm pretty sure not all of these gauges work. A lot of them do, but I'm sure there's a few of them that don't work. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different, but you know, I thought I'd share this with you guys. Pretty neat, pretty cool truck, you know, for $3,000. So I'll keep you guys updated on the truck if we do anything with it. I'm gonna be putting a new muffler on it because that, you know, that one's really messed up. Then we also might repaint it, so, you know, I'll keep you guys updated on this thing and what we're doing with it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hope you guys are having a great day. And, you know, if you like this video, if you leave a like, I'd absolutely love that. And if you're, you know, tuning in for the first time, you know, you should definitely check out some other videos. We got some good ones. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.